concerned about the traffic being in there. People see the farmers market, deciding at the last minute they're going to pull in the rest of that hill. When she originally talked to me, I thought she was talking about the property behind the town office that we also own. But then she came in to see me and clarified that they wanted to be up on this end. I actually, personally, I think that's a better place for them down there. There's a lot more parking, there's not nearly as much traffic going by there, which I know they want to attract, but they're still going to have the traffic off of 27th anyways, being there. So I would propose that as an alternative location.
I actually was wondering if you wanted to use the front of the town office where the road, where there used to be the road that went through and now it's cut off, because it's just a paved area and then there's some grass there. So
That would be a parking problem, because they can't park in front of the fire station.
oh, okay. Never mind. Any other comments? Karen, then
Dennis, could you just show me on the map where you thought was? I don't have a copy of that printed out.
For my alternative,
Yeah.
oh, it's the property right behind. I didn't bring a map. It's the property right behind the town.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah, just
no, he's talking about a different. No, it's not on that.
Right out behind the town office itself. You know where the tower is, where we park, out back, there's that grassy area between the town office and Churchill Street.
Oh, okay.
So if they put it over on the Washington Street side, you know, there isn't that much traffic on Washington Street, and people can park in the parking lot. And they can put a sign out on 27. It's just a thought.
Like have it on Washington Street?
It can be in the grassy area. It can be on the grass, but people can park on the side of the parking lot.
They need to be able to pull up. The vendors need to be able to park next to their tents. That's always the issue. So I don't know if they can pull up on top of that. What Dennis is talking about.
Glenn, do you have something to add?
Yeah, can I offer a couple of different options, and I don't know if this is feasible or not.
Sorry, but
The back part of this park, oh, come on.
Yeah. Just because we are trying to record, so.
The back part of this parking lot, right here at the community center, could be used, park on the grass and use the parking lot itself. I think with advertising, that could actually work. Another spot in town, and we've been using it for different events, is the section of High Street, right from the church, that overlooks the town common. Shutting that section off, shutting off a portion of that for this type of event on a weekly basis. You know, I'm not sure if that would be feasible, but that might be options. And then you can tie it on the stage to the, you know, to the farmers market as well.
Karen?
On High Street,
Yep.
on High Street,
Right.
closing it off.
Right in front of the church where you were for Scarecrow Fest.
Ted, correct me if I'm wrong, but does that collect water in there when it rains, because it's low in the middle?
Down on
This does.
this,
In the proposed.
oh, this one here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm concerned that, you know, on wet days, with poor drainage there, it could actually probably do some damage to the property there.
Yeah, from the
This floods.
Okay, so what's the pleasure of the board? Sam?
I think maybe we should just try it right here in the parking lot. If it's a solid area, then we can put out some publicity about it. I mean, if Lloyd says there's room for it here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what night are we still talking the same evening?
Claudia, what time are you thinking, time and day?
We are planning to move the formal market to Friday morning.
Friday morning.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Carrie, would you have something?
I just wanted to say, perhaps we don't need to decide that tonight, because Claudia would need to talk to her vendors about, you know, how easily they could use any of the areas that we talked about, behind the town office and any place. Let's keep looking, Claudia. Want to? Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not ideal, but we have a little time, right? Okay, Pam?
Claudia, I think what the focus here is we'd like to see that once you move it somewhere, it stays where it's moved to, so that we're not hopping around.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we put it in a place that's going to be sustainable for everybody before we make that decision. So can you look at some of these other areas and talk to the vendors and get kind of a consensus?
We already looked around. We already looked around and we looked at the common behind the building, the municipal building, in that place. So the common is very slow, and we need the tents and the table to be stable. So it's out of the business because it doesn't work for us. And also the parking is an issue. It doesn't have enough parking. In the library, sometimes they take those parking spots. Behind the building, the municipal building, I don't want to end up with the same situation that we had with the waterfront. People come and park and we, please, can you move your car? And always was an issue. So we don't want to end up the same situation. So for me, or for us, we looked at that place and we don't have to deal with anybody because he parked wherever he wanted. And so we considered about the traffic. Yes, there is a traffic, but we are planning to put signs along the probably from Morris Farm saying slow down, farmer market ahead. So people who are driving through the 27 can see that day they had to slow down. And the speed limit, I think, is 45 on 27 and 25 on Church Street. And here, I think it's too high. We need visibility. And people, they like to walk to the farmer market. That was the issue. A lot of people said, oh, I miss walking over there. And so we want to provide, to make everybody happy.
Thank you. Sharon?
Did you answer about High Street, using High Street?
Right directly in front of the church, the Congregational Church. I don't know if it's us, where Scarecrow Fest, the chili chowder stuff was set up.
Isn't that, the town common cannot be used for private property.
The common itself,
But that's the road.
I'm not sure there'd be enough room to put our tents and the vehicle next to the tent, and also provide for customer work.
That's why I wanted to look at it.
Yeah, I would like to look at a few spots. I don't think this spot would be ideal. You got a few people around, people walk around on each spot and see how it works.
Okay, I guess, we're also 2 hours in. I guess, yeah. I guess I'd like to come back to this, if that's okay, at our next meeting. And in the meantime, Mary, you are volunteering to leave.
I'm volunteering to leave Yes.
Okay.
The farmer's market. Yes, and I'll take Dusty with me.
Okay, Dennis is suggesting we also could put it on our workshop next week to discuss, so we can do it sooner than
Oh, that'd be good. Thank you.
2 weeks. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Thank you. Okay, correspondence from Jim Smith and the Rhines family. This is to Chief Bickford and the fire department, thanking them for all they did on the passing of Peter Rhines. So, just wanted to recognize that. Okay, we didn't have a town manager report.
Yeah, he's a slacker.
He was on vacation, so. Okay, down to 12A, assessors abatements, Brian Pendleton, map U07, lot 11, $502.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, questions, discussion? Calling for a vote, all those in favor? Okay, moving on to the next one, DS Technical Services, Inc., personal property account number 33, $275.09. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, questions, discussion? Calling for a vote, all those in favor? Okay, all set there. Down to 12B, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA, section 4056C.
Question,
Oh,
excuse me for a minute, you mentioned a workshop next week, I didn't see it listed on the coming.
yeah, I know, I noticed it wasn't
When,
on there
when,
either.
and where, and what is the subject?
It is the 28th at 6 p.m. over Zoom. We will be discussing possible uses for ARPA funds.
Or, say again?
ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act, right? That's what it says. Likely recommendations for future ordinances, new or changed to give to the ORC, and then possibly location of the farmer's market.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I will now entertain a motion to enter into executive session. I don't believe we'll be taking any votes at the end. Is that correct? Correct. Okay.
I move we enter into executive session pursuant to M1 MRSA subsection 4056C.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, we're headed into executive session. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh, never mind.
I really don't.
They were going to look at other options and Terry's going to engage.
Is that coming or this might be quick? Well, I know. You know what, I can just speak to him.
Well,
I know.
I really appreciate it.
I think there's that quick update and there's a lot of questions. Are we staying in here or are we going in the senior center?
Lease is confidential.
I'm sorry.
You can, and I said that to you earlier. You can, and you will get it. They just may be some. You know, it just may have some taxes. Yeah, we're going